So Sukuna realized that after making Megumi be his new vessel, he realized that Megumi is cutting the supply of his cursed energy down to 10%. So which means that this is not a full power Sukuna. So after Sukuna realized that his cursed energy is down to 10%, he's not worried at all because of the fact that this is going to be enough energy to go on ahead and try to finish off Yuji. And it seems as if throughout the whole battle, it seems that Sukuna, he doesn't want to fully get rid of Yuji as quickly as possible. It just seems as if that he likes for him to suffer before he actually gets rid of him. Because during the other side of town, we see that Urami is trying to pick up Sukuna so that way they can go ahead and prepare for his bath that they actually prepared in the past couple of chapters ago. So back to Sukuna and Yuji. So while Sukuna is actually focusing on Yuji and about to go ahead and attack him, he kind of noticed that there's another challenger that's at approach, which is Maki. And Sukuna is very stunned because he didn't even notice her thanks to Maki not having any cursed energy. And while he realized that Maki is there, he also noticed that she wasn't affected with Nuke's lightning ability. So then Maki wants to know what is going on because how Sukuna is now in Megumi's body and not in your body, Yuji. So Yuji goes and give her up the speed of what's happening. And then Maki is just like, oh, okay. So then they both start jumping Sukuna. And this is the fight that we kind of suspect that this was probably going to happen later on in the series. But we actually are able to see Sukuna versus Maki. And as of this time, remember, Sukuna is not in his full power. This is a Sukuna that is in 10% thanks to the fact of Megumi is actually compressing his cursed energy. And that the more that they actually continues to fight, the more compressed Megumi is putting on Sukuna, rejecting Sukuna, because during the fight with Sukuna and Maki and Yuji, we see that Megumi is still fighting with Sukuna because he doesn't like the fact that he's fighting his comrades, because that's what we later see throughout the whole entire chapter. But we go on ahead and Maki, she didn't waste any time. She started throwing some punches at Sukuna. Sukuna was able to counter it, and she was able to counter Sukuna's punches, were able to land a punch at Sukuna and then viciously push Sukuna off of the building. And while Sukuna was being pushed off the building, one of the barricades that Sukuna knocked off was in the air, and we see that Yuji was able to grab it and start beating Sukuna while he's in airborne. And as of this moment, Sukuna is irritated by Yuji, and he's just saying that you're a boring person and that he's really just done with Yuji. But then out of nowhere, we see that Maki just goes on ahead and kicks Sukuna up to the ground, and then Sukuna just dusts it off and he's ready for some more smoke. So then Maki tells Yuji that, oh, so now he knows to do reverse curse technique, huh? So even if he doesn't die, he has the reverse curse technique, which Yuji agreed. So then they're just like, all right, so I'm going to need you to keep up to speed. So Maki goes on ahead, throws Yuji at Sukuna as Maki is chasing down Sukuna. And then as they both catch up with Sukuna, they both started boxing him, jumping Sukuna, but Sukuna is able to counter it. And as of this moment, he needs to find a way to breathe at this moment. So he used spider thread, cleave, making the ground that Maki and Yuji is standing on shattered and causing like a mini earthquake around that area, making their balance be off balance. And then as of this moment, we see that Sukuna, he goes straight to Maki, punching Maki, but then Maki was able to take the punch, which in Sukuna, as Sukuna says not bad to Maki, as she was able to take the punch. So then Maki, Yuji, and Sukuna, they continue on with their battle until it suddenly stopped as they see that someone has arrived, and they use maximum output Def Calm. This technique was probably called something else during the leaks, but we'll see what the Viz has to say. So after that, you just see a giant ice wall covering where Yuji and Maki is. And as of this point, Urami is apologizing to Sukuna as she was just like, look, I'm sorry if I step in, please forgive me. And Sukuna is just like, no worries, you don't need to actually apologize. And then so Urami was just like, well, I weakened the ice around Yuji just in case. But Sukuna was just like, look, I don't even need him at all. I don't really care for him. I got my body, which is Megami. So then he was just like, but you're focusing your cursed energy on that woman was the correct choice, as he is viewing Maki. And because he knows that Maki is going to continue on and attack Sukuna, and especially too at Sukuna at this state, because Sukuna needs to be in his full power. So then they go on ahead and they're leaving because Sukuna's bath is ready, and now he's about to enjoy his bath because everything is going into his full plan. So then Urami's just like, all right, cool. So do you want me to go ahead and kill Yuji because Yuji broke out of the ice? And then we see that Sukuna's just like, wait, hold on. Look, you have you gotta have a good laugh. Like, cause come on, like look at this dude. Look at this dude. How pathetic. Cause you just see a scene where Yuji is yelling at Sukuna, trying to chase him down with his injuries. And this is one of the things that I said earlier in the video, where I do feel like Sukuna, he likes to torture Yuji before actually finishing him off. And I think that's the joy of what Sukuna likes to do to Yuji. So as of this point, we see that Urami and Sukuna is actually laughing at Yuji. And then as they both are flying away, and Yuji is just chasing them down. So the chapter ends as we see that Yuji is pretty much depressed and kind of frustrated, and it seems as if that Sukuna is preparing for his bath, which we are going to later find out what the purpose of this bath is for. But other than that, this chapter was really hyped because we see Maki versus Sukuna, even though Sukuna is at 10%, is not his full power, but it was great to see, that fight. And also as well, Sukuna was able enough to go on ahead and actually get away. And we're about to go ahead and see what's the whole purpose of this bath and what's going to happen to Megami, because it just seems as if we know what's going to happen with this bath, we're probably going to know what's going to happen after all. But other than that, this is my review. If you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and comment on what you guys think of what's going to happen in the next chapter, or what you guys think about this chapter. But other than that, be safe, y'all, and bye.